Today we are going to talk about the dark truth of the mirror principle that nobody talks about. See, everyone tells you that reality is like a mirror reflecting your thoughts. But what they do not tell you is that most people are looking at the wrong mirror. Right? I see this happening all the time. People say, I am thinking positive thoughts, but nothing is changing. And here is why. You are actually manifesting from your shadow self, not your conscious mind. The shadow self is that hidden part of you that you do not want to look at, but it is actually controlling everything. Now let me explain what is really happening when you look in this mirror. Imagine you are standing in a room of mirrors, but only one is real. The others are showing you what you want to see, what you are consciously thinking. But that real mirror that's showing your shadow self, that is the one actually creating your reality. And here is where it gets interesting. Your shadow self operates in three different layers. First, we have the surface fears. These are the ones you know about, like fear of failure or rejection. Then we have the deeper wounds. These are usually from childhood. Finally, we have the core shadow. This is your fundamental beliefs about your worth, your place in the world, and what you truly deserve. Now, here is what nobody tells you when you are trying to manifest something. Let us say wealth. Your conscious mind is saying, I am abundant. I attract money easily. But your shadow self is screaming, I do not deserve it. I will lose it all. I will be judged. And guess which one the universe actually responds to? That is right. The shadow self. Because it carries more emotional charge, more energy, more truth about what you really believe. So you are manifesting perfectly actually. The mirror principle is working exactly as it should. But it is reflecting your shadow, not your conscious thoughts. This is why positive thinking alone does not work. You need to work with your shadow first. Recognize it, acknowledge it, integrate it. Think about it like this. If you are in a dark room and you want more light, you do not just imagine the light, right? You need to find what is blocking it first. And maybe there is a furniture in front of the window. Maybe the curtains are closed. Your shadow beliefs are those blockages. And until you move them, no amount of positive thinking will let the light in. Now here is what you actually need to do first. Stop pretending your shadow does not exist. Look at it directly. When you say you want success, what part of you feels unworthy? When you say you want love, what part of you is terrified of being hurt? These are your real mirrors. And once you face them, something magical happens. They start to transform on their own. You see, the shadow only has power when it is hidden. Bring it into the light and becomes just another part of you. A part you can work with, transform, and then, yes, manifest from. This is the real mirror principle. Not just reflecting what you want to see, but reflecting your whole truth. Let me share something deeper with you. Something I discovered after years of working this principle. Your shadow self is not your enemy. It is actually trying to protect you. Think about it. When you were young and you got hurt trying something new, your shadow self created a protection mechanism. Do not try new things. You will get hurt. When you saw your parents struggling with money, your shadow self whispered, being wealthy is dangerous. These were not random thoughts. They were survival strategies. But here is the beautiful truth. You don't need these protections anymore. You are not that vulnerable child anymore. You have resources now, skills now, wisdom now. Let me give you a real example. One of my clients, let's call her Anna. She kept manifesting toxic relationships on the surface. She was doing everything right, affirmations, visualization, vision boards, but nothing changed. Then we did the shadow work. We discovered that at the age 7, she watched her mother get abandoned, and her shadow self made a decision. If I am too happy in love, I will get hurt like mom. Can you see what was happening? Her shadow self was actually trying to protect her by sabotaging her relationships before they got too good. This is the kind of deep mirror work that creates real change. So here is what you need to understand. Your shadow self holds your deepest wisdom. It knows exactly why you created each pattern, each block, each fear, each limitation. And here is the process I want you to follow. First, sit with your shadow. Do not try to change it. Do not try to fix it. Just listen. Ask it, what are you trying to protect me from? What do you think will happen if you let go? What do you need to feel safe? Then, this is crucial. Thank your shadow. Thank it for trying to protect you all these years. Thank it for its dedication. It is consistency. It is unwavering service. Because once your shadow feels acknowledged, once it knows you understand its purpose, it will begin to relax its grip. And that is when the real manifestation begins. This is the dark truth about the mirror principle. It is not about forcing positivity. It is about embracing your whole self. Shadow and light, fear and courage, doubt and certainty. Because only when you face all your mirrors can truly choose which reflection to empower. Let me give you another powerful example. Think about money for a moment. Most people saying, I am abundant, are actually fighting their shadow. Let me show you what I mean. I had another client, let's call him Mike, successful businessman on the surface, making 6 figures, but constantly losing it all. No matter how much he made, something would always happen. A bad investment, a failed business deal, and unexpected expenses. His shadow was running a program. If I keep too much money, I am selfish like my father. See, his father was wealthy but never helped family members in need. And young Mike made a decision. I will never be like that. His shadow was making sure he stayed good by keeping him financially unstable, so he could never be selfish like his father. Beautiful intention, wrong solution. Here is another example that might surprise you. Even physical health follows this principle. I worked with an athlete, top of her game, but kept getting injured right before major competitions. Her conscious mind was saying, I am strong, I am capable, I will win. But her shadow was carrying the weight of her mother's word. Do not outshine your brothers. It makes them feel bad. So her shadow created injuries to keep her from outshining anymore, to keep her safe in the family dynamic. These patterns are everywhere. The writer who never finishes their book because their shadow equates success with losing privacy. The entrepreneur who sabotages partnerships because their shadow believes trust leads to betrayal. The artist who never shares their work because their shadow thinks visibility means vulnerability. But here is the most beautiful part. When you work with your shadow instead of against it, it becomes your greatest ally. Remember Mike, when he honored his shadow's desire to be different from his father, he created a new business model. One where profit and generosity worked together, where wealth became a tool for positive impact, where abundance served his highest values. And that athlete, she transformed her shadow's protection into a mission to inspire young girls in sports, showing them how to shine without dimming anyone else's light. This is the true power of mirror principle. It is not just about changing your thoughts, it is about integrating your shadows until they become your strength. Because in the end, the darkest parts of your mirror hold the brightest potential for transformation. And that is how you manifest, not from fear but from wholeness.